everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Thursday. This is the Thursday. I was going to say first Thursday, but that doesn't make much sense. This is the Thursday before our big spring fling event. I hope all of you are as excited. I just realized I'm not tucked in. I look a hot mess. I ran to the mall real quick on the in-between. I call it like in-between shows is what I call the time that I am at work and then go live at night. So in-between shows, quote unquote, I guess that would be like a theater term. I ran to the mall, so I am disheveled from running and grabbing some things. Oh, thank you, Carol, to grab some. This is actually a paper color that's coming to Brutus Monroe in the fall. So I got some new outfits to wear for Spring Fling, which I'm really excited about. I think I'm going to look pretty springy. I'll be wearing short sleeves, hopefully. It's going to be warm enough to wear short sleeves. But yes, tomorrow night we kick off Spring Fling with all of our in-house folks that are coming to see us here at the Brutus Monroe Studio Store. And then Saturday will be in-house as well as virtual. So tomorrow there is a pre-recorded video of me. It's going to seem like I'm live, but I'm not really live, unboxing your kit. And then I hope that all of you will head over to the Brutus Monroe Instagram or the Brutus Monroe Facebook page, because we have something very exciting that we sneak peeked this evening, and I want you all to get in on the possible giveaway. Have any of you seen what we posted on Instagram or on Facebook yet tonight? I'm thinking some of you probably have seen it already. I think I saw actually some of you comment on it. So, hello, Candy. Oh, I didn't say my hellos. Hello, Deb. Hello, Michelle. Hello, Vicky. Hello, Debbie. Hello, Amy. Hello, Dawn. Hello, Carol. Hello, Kelly. Hello, Luann. Oh, Luann, you saw it. Good, good, good. Okay. There's a lot of people that are guessing half correct, partially correct, a quarter of the way correct. But there are some of you that got all of them correct. So that's exciting. And it's wild because our entire inspiration team, as well as the entire staff here, know who the special guests are for the Create Your Own Ending event, but they've all been sworn to secrecy. So, yes. All right. So, let's head down to the table and let's get to making a card tonight. So, tonight we are going to be using probably one of my favorite stamps from the release. If not my favorite stamp from the release. I haven't even had a chance to use the stamps from the inspiration box yet, but we will be using those soon. I promise you that. It's just, we have so many incredible things in this release that it's hard to choose what we are going to use first. So I have been thinking about this technique probably since this stamp was designed. Now, most of you know that I design things usually 3, 4, sometimes months in advance. So this particular design has been in the works for quite some time. But tonight I finally get to use it on an actual card. So this is the Sentiments of Lace stamp. And this is BRU 7919 is the SKU if you're looking it up on the website. And oh, did I show you all this card already? Did I show you this that we're going to be making? I can't remember. Did I? I can't remember if I showed you it. But if I didn't, that's... Oh, you stamped it with Chroma Mist. Okay, well, I'm using aqua pigments tonight. So we'll see if it's similar. I unfortunately didn't get a chance to catch your live last night, Candy, because I was burning the midnight oil trying to get some things finalized for the event. So we're going to grab some of the Brutus Monroe Aqua Pigment watercolor paper. The Aqua Pigment watercolor paper, say that 10 times fast. I'm going to be using the Slimline because it's longer, and I think it's really great that we have the Slimline variety. And again, I think it's great we have that because of the longer stamps. So we're going to take a sheet of this. This is a cold pressed watercolor paper. All that means is that it does not have like a really, really a lot of tooth to it. It doesn't have a whole bunch of texture. So let me go ahead and grab my Misty. You all know, mind your business about the state of my Misty. We've talked about this before. It is disgusting. This Misty is, I think, 9 years old, 8 years old. So it's been through it, and it has been tried and true for me. So like I said, mind your business. If you think this Misty is gross, I need you to mind your business. So I'm just going to place my magnets here. I'm going to place this down on here. Hello, Anna Smith. How are you, my friend? Oh, okay. Now I see. I'm going to grab my magic powder tool. Remember the magic powder tool from Brutus Monroe? You can refill it. It's probably one of the best parts of the magic powder tool. And now I'm going to place my stamp. I'm going to place it right here in the middle. We're actually going to be, cutting this out eventually. We're going to be trimming it out. So it doesn't really matter kind of where we place it. And we're going to go ahead and stamp it. Oh my goodness, Anna, you are the sweetest thing. I'm good now that I get to see you. You are just, y'all are too good to me. I can tell you that. I don't deserve you, but I'll take it. I will take it. I will not trade y'all for the world. Not the bar. Oh, the round magnets don't scare me. I'm a trained professional. I've been using these round magnets for a long time. The bar magnets are a little bit more aggressive than the round ones. We actually have up in the store, and I'm mad that I didn't get a set yet. We have those magnets that have like the silicone sleeves on them, and those are the ones really that I should be using, but I haven't yet. So since we're using the Misty, I always say stamp it 3 times just because, number one, this is watercolor paper. So we are going to run into some stamping, generally just by proxy, we will run into some stamping issues, but I think we got a pretty good stamping on there. We're actually working on a brand new product that is an embossing ink that has some tint to it. That's something that I don't think we have them yet. Do we have them yet, Heather? So that you can see where you're stamping your embossing. I mean, I don't know why no one has thought of it yet, but I was like, I want it for me, so I hope everybody else wants it for them. I just think it's smart to have an embossing ink that has tinting in it, right? All right, so now we're going to grab our heat tool. Remember, well, now, hold on. Stop everything. Stop the presses. Let's put our embossing powder back into its jar. Have y'all seen these 6-ounce jars of embossing powder? They're great. We have them in, I believe, 4 or 5 different... Haven't seen it? Okay, then maybe I didn't get them. So remember, you want to heat up your heat tool before you bring it to your paper. You want to get it to, you want to get it pretty warm before you, to the point where you can't hold your hand in front of it. Oh, Ink on 3 has that? Oh, they do? Well, never mind. Never mind. I don't have that idea anymore. Can we still make it, though? Would that be okay? My dear friend Florette over there. I actually have met Florette a couple of times in person. One time I was in a layover in Chicago on my way, I can't remember where I was going. I was going to, I think, a store, or I don't know. I was going on doing something for Brutus Monroe, and I was able to meet her, and it was wonderful. Do any of your older butterfly dies cut out the makeup bar? No, but if you have a die cutting machine, I believe there's an SVG on the way. Or not a die cutting machine, what's it called? Like a Cricut or a Silhouette. I believe there's something on the way. I believe there is an SVG on the way. You don't quote me on that because I can't recall. I think it's on its way. So I'm going to use the Stick and Stamp Pigment Palette. This is like something that, I just suggest everybody having this because it is a lifesaver when you're doing any type of watercoloring. And we're going to use, I think, probably the most popular colors so far this year next to the creamies. And those are going to be the new, whoops, you can't see that. The new aqua pigments that are the space theme. So I'm going to start with Cosmo, which is a beautiful kind of purplish color. And then I'm going to go in and grab some of the Orion, which is like a kind of like a deep blue purple. And then we're going to grab some of the Galileo, which is like a turquoise. Oh, Debbie, we're gonna get them in. I'll get them in. Don't worry. All right. So I am gonna mist my paper just gently with a little bit of water. You don't want it to be saturated. You just want to hit it with just a little bit of water because we want our, we would like for our aqua pigments to kind of have a base to move around. Now this is not going to look like anything, but until, oh, if there's going to be an SVG tomorrow, okay, good. All right. So I'm going to grab my Brutus Renard water brush. These are not in stock. Hopefully they will be back at some point too. Oh, look, my two colors mixed together. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to keep my little cheat sheet over here, which is my stamp, so that I can kind of see better where these different pieces are. I can see it pretty good. I know you're not going to be, oh, you can kind of see it there. And we're just going to start going in with some color. So, and I'm just going to tap the color in, and then the color will fill all of those areas. And you don't want to worry about it. You kind of want to go out of the lines a little bit, if that makes sense, because you want this color to really saturate all of those different areas. So we're just going to go in, and again, see how that went out of the lines a little bit? That's okay. Don't worry about that. You want it to go out of the lines a little bit because we're really over saturating this, and then we're going to hit it with a paper towel. All right, so I'm not cleaning my brush, and I'm just going to go in and I'm adding some additional color, and the embossing powder is going to resist this. See how we're getting that resist there? But we want to go a little bit out of the lines. I don't know how that works with the silhouette. I've always been a Cricut guy myself. Although I did do a video way back in the day on the silhouette. All right, let's zoom in a little bit here so you can see. And again, having too much color is okay. We want this to kind of bleed out a little bit and go into the other areas. And now my two colors are really mixing together here, but that's okay. I don't mind it. It's because I put way too much on the palette. Don't put as much on the palette as I did. And again, this isn't going to look like much until we blot it. But I promise you it's going to be very, very pretty. You want to make sure that you are adding color into all of the areas. If it mixes together, please let it mix together, because that is, again, going to create kind of like a stained glass look, okay? All right. A little bit more blue. But you can see the blue and that purple have mixed together, which have created a brand new shade for us, which I'm kind of digging. Because we really want all of these colors to really meld together. So now I'm going to go in the center and add some of this beautiful green. And this is very loosey-goosey watercoloring. I don't want you to think that you need to have a PhD in watercoloring. We're being very loosey-goosey with it. We just want to create. So I'm taking this new color that's been mixed in the middle and adding this to the sides. Christopher, I have the original Cricut Joy that won't work. Oh, wow. The original, what seems to be the problem with it? Because mine had a lot of issues with connecting. So if that's the issues that you're having, it might be that. My Cricut Joy was having a lot of issues connecting for a long time. I don't know why. I read a couple of articles about it, and eventually it just all of a sudden it just connected. I don't know what. I wish I could tell you what I did, but I don't think I did anything. I think it just all of a sudden connected one day. So I'm just going in here at the top, and look at how beautiful these colors are. And I'm just adding a little bit more color into some different areas just to give it a little more oomph. Just zhuzh it a little bit, you know. And then up here at the top, I'm going to add more color so I can see where I'm ending at. And can you see what we have so far? Oh, for the SVG. That would be a program issue, not a Joy issue. And I'm just going to add a little bit of color to the outside here. And I'm just kind of grabbing the color from what's already there. Oh, yes, the Joy is absolutely capable of doing an SVG. Yep. The only thing the Joy can't do is it can't print then cut. That's the only thing you can't do with the Joy. So again, I'm just going in and I'm adding in my color on the outside. We want to use kind of all the colors in the palette. And now that my colors are kind of mixing together, I love that because it's really giving us quite a bit of visual interest. Wouldn't you agree? So there is our border so far. What do you think? I personally love it. I think it's gorgina. Where are my paper towels at? Oh, they're over here. Okay. So I'm going to add a little bit more color to the outside here. And the reason being is we want this to be completely saturated with color when we cut this out. So, and I'm not fussy cutting it. I'm going to actually cut it as a strip. So we're all going to hold our breath together because we will not have time tonight to paint another one of these. So we will all hold our breath while I am cutting it out. I think we'll be good though. I'm a certified paper trimmer. I don't know. Don't ask where I got my certification from. The school closed, but you can. I'm sure there are other schools that offer that type of certification. Oh my goodness! All right. So what do we think so far? Do you love it? Because I think it's just absolutely stunning. And these, I don't know. I'm assuming these are back in stock. I saw down in manufacturing. Boy, were they busy little bees today. So I think that they're probably... Hello, Jessica. I think Jessica's middle name is Ann. I want to say it's Ann, but I might be making that up. So we're just going to try to... Lee. Oh, even better. Even better. Jessica Lee. Perfect. Perfect. I don't know why for a bit. I thought for some reason your middle name was Eileen, but I might have made that up too. All right, let me grab some. Let me grab a paper towel. We're going to do a little blotting. All right, so now this is when the magic will happen. So you see how much of that is going to get sopped up, but I promise you that's what's going to make it look really, really cool. All right? 1, 2, 3, go. Now look at how gorgeous that background is. So we wanted to go with something muted because we're going to utilize this with our paper pad. She said, just kidding, love you. Why? What did you say? I missed it. I think that'll look really pretty with that one. So I'm just going to heat set this a little bit more. Let me zoom out. So it almost gives it like a tie-dye look, right? So we're just going to heat this up until it's completely dry. Aren't her videos awesome? She does a great job. We are very, very fortunate to have her on the team. All right, so we're just going to let that sit for a minute. She said, I'm part of the fam. I can't. She's on full tilt tonight. She said, doy. I can't with the two of you tonight. All right, so now we're going to cut this pretty piece down. I know it's going to make a lot of you cringe. Me too. All right. So let me move this. It's the little things, really. It's the really thing. It's the little things, really. Our little. All right, so we're going to trim this down. And we don't want to, we still want to see a little bit of the white. So we're just going to zhuzh that over there just a hair. All right. And we're going to try to get this as close as we can to the edge. This is going to be a little bit bigger than obviously the card base, so we are going to have to trim it down again. So I'm going to trim down this side a little bit more. It's kind of like you just kind of got to go back and forth because we want to get this kind of as close as we can to the stamp, but not on the stamp. Does that make sense? I know I have to say that to you guys a lot because I feel like sometimes when I'm doing things, it's in my head, obviously, and I want to make sure that you all understand. So this is what our panel looks like. So we were able to take just a plain Jane stamp that looked like this and turn it into this. So it was just, I mean, it was so simple. Hello, my beautiful friend Carolyn. All right, let me move this out of the way before I put my hand in it. And now we're going to cut just a little piece. I want just a little kind of, like, I mean, I would say like maybe a 1/4 inch. We don't want too much because we don't want this to compete with our border. So this is all we need. We just want a little lip. See how that coordinates, how beautiful that works there? All right, and then we're going to get our card front. So we're going to actually use some Raven tonight. I know I don't usually use Raven often, but today's the day. So we'll cut this down to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And what we're going to do is we're going to do some layering stuff. So I've really been into this new card style, which is, you know, kind of like border pieces. So essentially, you know, we're going to have to cut this down a little bit, but we'll have this piece here. We'll have another piece here. And then I'm going to use a piece of, where did that go? One moment, please. We're going to use a piece of tissue tape. Okay. Just the regular everyday tissue tape to do a little bit of gold, because I think we need some gold, right? I think it'll be very regal. I'm using Raven on every card these days thanks to the Godmother Gina, right? Well, our Godmother Gina will be with us. Very soon. She just texted me right before I came on. All right, so I'm going to grab some glue, and we are going to glue down this panel first, and I'm going to set my MISTI on top of it. Just this glue still is a nightmare. I mean, that's not the glue. I shouldn't say that. It's the, we turned it upside down to try to get it to work. I think it's just too low. There we go. So I'm using the Barely Art glue. Oh, I don't want to go up that far, though. I think it's clogged. I think sometimes the pins work a little bit better. And sometimes they don't. Sharpie. Oh, that's a good idea. She does. I mean, literally, I mean, she does for almost every card she does. Which I probably should start getting into that habit. I need to clean this glue tip out. Because it is not, there we go. It did not want to agree with me. All right. So now remember, the one thing that's great about Bearly Art Glue is it does dry pretty quickly. So you got to work fast, or I mean, fast adjacent, I guess I would say. All right. So we're going to start on this side. We're going to place this like so, like that. And we're going to place our Misty right on top of it. And we're going to set that on top for just a couple of minutes while we work on our other pieces. So we're going to do another mat. We're going to do a mat that is 3 by 4 of black again. Whoops. So 3 by 4. Okay, and then we're going to do a little piece on top. Let's see, what color? I think we might do, I'm kind of in the mood for some heather. And we have 2 of them here tonight, so that's where we're at. We have 2 heathers here with us tonight, so. All right, so let me grab my stamp. Because I just want to try to position this. So since that's 3 by 4, we need a 2 3/4 by 3 3/4. Ooh, what happened to that? Do you see that? Wonky as the day is long. What the heck happened there? Now let's see. There we go. Okay. There we are. All right, so where did I put that die? Oh, there, this die set. Let's move this out of the way. And we're going to add a little bit of visual interest to this. Well, keep this under here. And to create our visual interest, don't put your stamp back in your stick and stamp mat like that. I'm going to place, so remember, the stick and stamp mat is something that we've had at Brutus Monroe for a while. It's something that I invented, my goodness, 2 years ago now, and I cannot live without it. And we have more on the way. We are at a very, very, very low stock status right now. So add a little bit of visual interest. We're going to add in a little bit of filigree here that will match with the rest of everything, and then we're going to stamp our sentiment. But we're going to do this little filigree kind of, lace situation, so to speak, with some of the Brutus Monroe Alabaster pigment ink. The reason we're going to do this is I really want it to just be subtle, but I still want you to be able to see it. So, because we're just building, that's what we do. We just build dimension and visual interest. And remember, the alabaster ink will get darker as it dries. because it's a pigment ink. Oh, I already love it. We're just going to stamp it a couple of times. Can you already see it? You guys can see it. As it dries, again, it gets much, much darker. Oh, I love it. What do you think? All right, so I'm just going to pop this up and off of here and let this sit for a second, but I am going to clean off. Let me grab, which squeaky clean should I use? Cherry Cola. I don't know. Nope, I lied. Do we still have Rainbow Ice? Probably not. It was a summer scent. But it smells so good. You know what I really need to get down here? The new, oh, it smells so good. The new rainbow cereal that you can get from Monroe Madness. That's what I need to get down here. Heather Collins, do you see that I'm cleaning this? Are those color? Are they out of stock? Uh-oh. I didn't realize they were out of stock. We just got a restock, so we should have them in stock. If not, we might have missed that from the reorder. They should be back in stock. No? The Tim Holtz trimmer? It's my favorite. Hello, Monica. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to heat set this so that it stays in place. And can you see how much whiter it's becoming as it dries? All right. You're not, it's going to be hard to. Oh, good. Okay. Phew. So see how beautiful that is, and we're going to use that right on there. Not yet, everyone. Not yet. All right, so I'm going to take one thin strip of the tissue tape. Sorry, I was thinking and trying to stick at the same time in that. We all know how well that works. So I think I can trim this down now. There we go. Now I'll trim down the other side. I know, don't you love that? Okay. Oh, well. Oh, only 5 left. Whew. All right, where's my stabby tool? Can't leave home without it. So we're going to take... Got a little wonky down there, but that's okay. Then we're going to take our Brutus Monroe foil. So this is, I want it to go in this direction. This is our gold static foil. I tell you all the time, I'm the luckiest guy in the world that I have my own line of foil with Thermoweb. I still can't believe it. I literally just a couple of years ago was buying foil from Thermoweb at Michael's, and now I have my own, which is wild, but I will take it. So now you can see how that foil transferred beautifully onto there. And then for our final element, we are going to add on our little strip here. Probably hearing me heavy breathing from here. Well, okay, so now we have just one fine little bead of glue. And we're going to add on our last piece. And again, it's different patterns, but they work so well together, right? Brutus is like a giant beagle. I mean, I know he's not a giant beagle, but he's like a giant beagle. Is what the breed is. That's how I would describe Heather's Brutus. Okay, and we're gonna do sending love as our sentiment because I'm really into the sending love these days. So let's place this back down on our stick and stamp mat. And then place our sending love right across the center there. And we will stamp this in Raven ink. I just re-inked this pad, so we should be good. Oh yes, it is very juicy now. Yes, but he's a big baby. He is the sweetest little big baby in the world. Whenever I first started the company, he would hang out with me in my office all the time. He would not leave my side. And he would guard me. So that's why he wasn't allowed to come into work anymore. Not because I didn't love him dearly, but because he would guard me. When people would come in to see me, he would get very upset. So since he was guarding me, he wasn't allowed to come to work anymore. All right, so we're going to place that right on the front, just because it started to become a little too dangerous. Not for me, for anybody else. We're going to be extra liberal with the adhesive because of how many layers we have. Whoopsies. And pop that down on the front. So now we have our card completed like so. And then we're gonna place a little bit of adhesive here. And then let me grab some foam tape. Min pins. Listen, it's very nice to hear that there are min pins that have a slower speed, because I could tell you Minnie Monroe, she is 0 to 6,000 at all times. She does not have a slower speed. Oh yes. That's how Minnie Monroe was when Rob and I had to go back to work. The same way. Because she was a pandemic puppy. All right. So now we're just going to place this right there. And I'd say that is a finished card. Oh, that's how old Brutus was. Well, no, Brutus I think lived to 17. Yeah, I think he was 17. So there we go. Simple, elegant, easy to do. And really, if you stamp this piece out, you can, stamp it multiple times. Very simply and easily. This is going to drive me nuts. Hold on. We got to do a foamectomy. There we go. So there we go. So simple. And again, with this stamp, there are so many, let me pull it up here, so many things that you can do. I mean, there's 3 of them on here. And then you have phenomenal sentiments on here too. Like, cheer up, Buttercup is one of my favorite things to say. I mean, all the time. We'll zoom in a little bit so you can see. I mean, how simple and easy was that? But it just gives just the right amount of oomph, right? The right amount. You want me to do what? Say less. Did you say something about a gem? I was just waiting for the green light. That's all. I was just waiting for the green light to put the gems on. All right, let's use these ones. These are my favorites. And I'm going to put them, I think, down here. You can see they're my favorites because I've used the most of them. All right, let's see. We're going to use the little one so you can still see the color around it. You know what my motto is. Does anybody remember? When you think there's too much glitter. Does anybody remember what I say? If you think there's too much glitter, we'll see if anybody remembers. Give it 2 more. Yep. Give it 2 more shakes. That is what I say. Could you achieve? You sure could. Yes, I always say, if you think there's too much glitter, give it 2 more shakes. That is what I say. Oh. That's exactly what it needed. Yep. You could absolutely, you would just use the A2 size aqua pigment paper, and it would just, you would just, instead of you know, being able to cut it down so it fits, you would instead just stamp off of it. That would be a fun t-shirt. And those gems, I'm pretty sure these gems are in stock. They go out of stock constantly. This has been through it. This looks like it's been through World War II. But I use these gems, and I'm missing one. I'm going to have to dust for fingerprints. But this gem set, this is the neutrals, I believe. I use this on almost every single card that I do. Almost every single one. I use this gem set. But my most favorite has been this gem set, which I'm almost 100% certain is sold out at this point. But I love this gem set. This was our collaboration with Buttons Galore. And I'm hoping that we will be able to do a spring one or like an Easter one. All right, let me zoom. Whoops, that's zooming in. All right, my dear friends, thank you so very much for hanging out with me tonight. Oh, and I'm almost right on time. Almost right on time. So I want to thank you all so much for spending your evening with me. I appreciate it so much because I know you could be anywhere else, but you decided to spend it with me. I want to thank you all so very much for being a part of my life. I want to thank you so much for purchasing these products from this new release. You really have made this a very successful release, and we appreciate that. I want you all to remember, oh, love you too, Jalissa. I want you all to remember that the Monroe Madness promotion ends on Sunday at midnight. So we officially only have 3 more days for you to get all of those free gifts. All of those free gifts, I want you to be able to get them. This is my favorite time of year besides Black Friday. It's about this, it's like the same kind of premise, but we do it in the spring. So we have one earlier in the year and then we have one later in the year. So grab some of those goodies. I know that the team will be live with you tomorrow at some point. It's going to be a little bit wild here tomorrow because we are bringing in extra reinforcements to get everything prepped for Spring Fling. It's going to be a lot of fun. So make sure you go to BrutusMonroe.com and fill up that cart. Find all sorts of things that you've wanted. Oh, the snow globes are back in stock. Does it say the snow globes are back in stock? Anybody on the Brutus Monroe team or just anybody that's on the website? The Doodlebug snow globes, is it showing that those are back in stock? That was on my list to let you all know that they're back because I know a lot of you wanted them and couldn't get them the first round. It's going to be fun, Terry. I'll just wait to see if those are back in stock, and if not, I'll have to adjust them. Oh, and there's a new squeaky. Is it on the website? If it's on the website, then yeah. The unscented Squeaky Clean now has a refill. I'm assuming it's on the website if she's telling me to talk about it. I mean, I hope so. Okay, so the new Squeaky Clean is on there and the Doodlebug Snow Globe. Okay, good. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. Thank you for being a part of my life. Remember to create something every single day, whether that is just a memory or your own ending. I love you dearly. Thank you for making me the luckiest man in the world because I get to do this every single day. And I will see you all. Well, if you're in the Spring Fling, I'll see you all very, very soon.